Well, friends, this video will probably fall under and more section of our title of our page because it's Loop's Hobbies and More. Well, here recently, some people here in the United States believe it is their right to riot, break into businesses, and steal things in the name of someone who was murdered, and the murderers were arrested, and they will be tried. But that's not the only batch of people that believe they're privileged. There was a story that I didn't believe was true. My wife fact checked it with another fact check site. And lo and behold, according to their information, it was true. Believe it or not, something on the computer was true. I wasn't there. But here's the gist of the situation. Speaker Nancy Pelosi's daughters were arrested for breaking into a liquor store in California. This particular liquor store they had frequented quite often. They gave the arresting officer, from the story as it goes, the story that they were there for emergency supplies. And later, when it was discovered who they were, they said, "Oh, we won't be in jail long. Our mom will get us out quickly." From what the story says, the officer gladly slapped the cuffs on them at that point. Don't take my word for it now. I'll even give you the place where we got the fact checking. This way you can check it against other stories too, because down here at the bottom of the story, the author, Harry Helmut. Okay, that's an interesting name. But in this day and age, since when does California consider politicians royalty? Since when does the United States consider politicians royalty? I can tell you they're a pain in my royal. Yeah. But they are not no king, queen, lord, duke, duchess, baron, or baroness, or even a dugout, in my opinion. They are a citizen serving for the people, not for their own benefit. But yet, How many of them have become millionaires while serving the American people? On our tax dollar. That's why a lot of Americans won't get into politics, because they don't want their families thinking they deserve everything on a silver platter. They want their kids to work for it. They want to be proud of this country. I imagine that as this story pans out, others will be reporting on it. And I'm sure that if they do, their names will probably be well known. People that dig into the story tooth and nail and won't give up till the story is done. Such reporters as Rush Limbaugh, Sean Hannity, and Mark Levin. I'm sure they'll come across this, scratch their heads, and come up with some of the same questions I do have. Since when do politicians consider themselves royalty? We kicked the royals out of this country when we said we declare our independence from their rule. So, I'm sure I'm going to get some comments on this one. Some of the younger generation will probably be hugging the pants leg of any known socialist who's been promising them everything for free, that they'll never have to work in their life. But the truth is, in socialist countries, those that didn't have an education ended up with the worst jobs and worked the hardest every day of their life. No days off. And when we go to the ballot box this November, remember that the daughters of at least one politician thought they were royals and they were above getting arrested for breaking an entry. Doesn't say they got away with anything, because they got caught right there. Don't know how much they consumed while they were there. I don't know all of the story. I guess we're just going to have to dig into it further. For all the hubbub that's going on in Washington, D.C., trying to point fingers at our president who's busting his tail to make sure the American people get a fair shake. Look at the stuff that's coming out now. And you wonder, why are they supporting the rioters? Why are they trying to get away with breaking and entry, flaunting their social position, which they really have none? So, I'm putting it to you, my fellow Americans, and those abroad and across the pond. What do you think of politicians thinking that we are to serve them rather than they are there to represent us? Are we subjects to the American government? Or is the American government to serve the American people as it is stated in writing several years before many of these people were even a gleam in their mommy and daddy's eye? Well, I want you to think about that one. I thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see what this video does, besides tick off a few people. But it's honest truth. Just because their parents are politicians does not give them a royal patooth.